Right. All right, folks, can you hear us? Watch that chat, bro.
Well, yeah, but
All right, so who's this bitch right here? Marianne Williamson. Who is this? I don't know who this is, dude.
cool. So everything's working properly here.
All right, so this is the PRL broadcast or commentary on the second Democratic debate.
Yeah, live stream reaction. We brought 40 ounces.
We got 40 ounces.
Cheers, Jared.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Don't want to spill the 40. That's bad
Yeah.
luck.
So we finally got this shit working.
Mm-hmm.
And
Let us know, fucking let us know what you think.
Yeah,
Chime in.
Jared, I'm trying to hear about the free shit, dude.
All right. Wait, who is this motherfucker? So this guy's trying to argue for us keeping a little bit of our private insurance? Is that the deal?
Just cosmetic for plastic surgery.
Oh, okay.
Like if we want
So if I want to get my dick enlarged, he's got me covered, right?
Yeah, you might want to do that.
Okay. Oh, man, he looks so upset. What if they walk into the sliding glass doors, though? Oh, is it commercial time already? What do? Do you like... Is it like UFC style fighting? Dude, yeah, Gary, I would vote for Bruce Campbell 2020. Hell yeah, dude.
I've actually got a framed Army of Darkness poster in my living room. So
Oh, yeah,
fuck
man.
yeah, I'd vote for Bruce.
Dude, I've got a framed fucking damn, I just fucked up the joke. What's that TV show that he was in with like the spy guy? The hot Russian chick. You know what I'm talking about?
What was it?
He was in that TV show with like with the spy where he was like kind of helping the spy out.
What, like Austin Powers?
No, it was like it was like kind of serious. Well, it was like kind of funny but kind of serious. Burn Notice. He was in Burn
Oh,
Notice.
okay, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Somebody told me that he was in that, and he was pretty cool.
He was funny. He was funny as hell. Yeah. It was a good show. I never finished it though, but
I could do like a whole hour on Bruce Campbell. I've
Yeah.
got like directed DVD.
hold on, dude. Bud Gig is on.
Okay,
No, go ahead.
okay. Bud Gig.
His name's Buttigieg or something like that. Do you even know who's in this debate, dude?
I don't, dude.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
I just know this motherfucker.
Isn't that the guy that you said you were talking to on Grindr?
I think that was him. Yeah. He is actually gay though too.
I know. That's why I said it, dude. I knew that much.
Okay. Fair enough.
There's a rumor going around that
Hey,
that
Lee
dude
Tark is
that
watching
dude
with us.
smokes pole. That's the rumor going around.
Yeah.
Hey Lee, how's it going?
Creepy Joe, what's the matter, dude? What happened? Did Kylie get banned?
Kyle will not let Kylie into Anarchy versus Mimicry debate group because Kylie is a fake account.
Do you run Kylie?
No, I do not.
You don't?
I do not.
Oh.
But I did find out recently who does.
Who?
I'm not going to say it on
Oh,
the air.
shit,
I
dude.
promised them.
Can you tell me after the air?
I promised them I
Off
wouldn't. I promised them I wouldn't spill the beans.
To anybody.
Yeah.
You don't even trust me, dude?
I don't know, dude.
All right. All right, fair enough. Gotta be loyal.
Okay, if I tell you, will you not tell anybody else? It's
Of course,
just be
dude.
between us.
What
Okay,
am I, a little fucking schoolgirl?
I'll tell you, dude. I'll
Okay.
tell you then, but not on the air.
Not on the air. For later. Oh shit, guys! It's commercial break. So what happened so far? Everyone wants to give out free shit. More free shit and more free shit. It's basically the gist I got. Healthcare is a right. Is healthcare a right, Matt?
No.
Why not?
Because you don't have a right to somebody else's labor.
Mm-hmm. So what you're saying is healthcare requires, among other things, the labor of individuals, including doctors, nurses, even the people working the front desk at a hospital, receptionists,
Yeah, everybody working in a
health
hospital, the
insurance
janitor,
people.
Yeah.
And so if you say that healthcare is a right, what you're basically saying is they are obligated to provide you with that service. Right?
Well, I think healthcare is indeed fucked in this country.
It is,
and,
for sure.
And you know what did I say right when they passed Obamacare, right? And then, I remember my health insurance went from like $150 a month to like $250, and that was just after they passed it, not even before it actually went into reaction. It was just kind of like, they were already raising rates.
Yeah.
And then I believe last it was like $450 a month. So it went from like $150 to $450. So my health insurance went up like 3 times.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, so what I've been saying from the get-go, it's almost like they're trying to totally fuck healthcare. So people are just begging for,
Like they just do it on purpose.
yeah, exactly. It seems like they broke healthcare even more than it already was.
Yeah.
And it already was broken because of government interference.
Right.
If you think back to like, 50, 60, 70 years ago, you had doctors actually making house calls.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can call some doctor's offices and they'll tell you that they won't even see a new patient for 3 months. Healthcare is indeed fucked.
Yeah. There's no argument there, man.
Yeah.
But it's fucked because it's like anything else.
It's fucked
Government,
because of the regulations.
yeah, government fucks something up and then, what is it?
And then they ask for more government to fix it.
Yeah, what do they say? Government will break your leg and then hand you the crutches or something like that. I think it was like PJ O'Rourke said that.
Okay, so that's the chick that like smoked weed, listening to Snoop Dogg in college, except for Snoop Dogg came out like 7 years after she graduated from college.
Yeah, that's her.
That must have been some really good shit.
Yeah, man. What about the people you put into cages when you were a prosecutor? Are you going to release them? How about that shit? She's basically just like a light.
Listen to that acting.
She's just like a dark-skinned Hillary Clinton.
Jared, that was a little racy.
Is that racy? I mean, nothing wrong with having dark skin. I'm just saying.
I wonder how many times she practiced this in the mirror at home before the debate.
Probably a lot, dude.
Probably.
Probably quite a few times. Either that or she's just a robot. Yes, Keanu for president, too. Andrew. Are we saying open borders? Where are my open borders, motherfuckers, at? Who the fuck is John Hickenlooper? Dude, where are they finding these people? Dude, where the hell's Yang? I want to hear Yang talk about my $1,000 I'm getting.
Is
Yang Gang.
Is Yang actually going to be on this one?
He is. They just showed him, dude.
Oh shit! I wasn't paying attention.
He's not talking yet. He's just standing there. This guy's going to get 0 votes. Look at him. This guy looks older than Biden, man. And Biden's like 85. Wow, that was some shitty camera work. And if you forcibly take someone's income, that's theft. Oh yeah, dude. The stranger.
She referenced the stranger.
We do open our hearts to the stranger on this podcast.
Hey, Jared, isn't that when you like sit on your hand until it turns numb and
Yeah.
then you masturbate?
Exactly. Or if you don't have time, you just use your non-dominant hand.
Okay.
You know, it's just feels like it's a stranger, like a foreign person,
Or I just use your
like an
hand.
immigrant, apparently, like an illegal alien, giving you a handy.
Oh, that's horrible.
It's a job, and someone's got to do it. Wasn't this the bitch that was getting in trouble for like abusing her employees? Am I right about that, chat room?
She looks like she needs one of those talk to the manager haircuts.
Yeah, she needs a bob cut, dude. See, this is the big red herring, is that there's only something like 1% of the prison population that is in for-profit prisons. But then you have 99% of the population is in government prisons, and they're in there for, you know, drugs, nonviolent crimes, that sort of thing. So it's like this focus on like for-profit prisons, like they're that much worse than a regular prison. It's just bullshit.
Yeah, right.
They're not, and you never hear them talking about we need to close prisons in general. They just want to close for-profit prisons, even though it's only like 1% of the prison.
What virtue?
Wow, dude, that was intense. What about the Jewish God? Oh shit, it's Creepy Joe.
Hand check.
I can see him. We're good.
Birdie looks like he's about to have like a fucking aneurysm, dude.
Dude, what is he doing?
He's like,
He's like raising his hand, like.
is that Eugene Levy?
What's a major crime, Joe? Is smoking marijuana a major crime? What about selling marijuana? What about selling a truck full of marijuana? Dude, it looks like his right eye's about to run across the border. Look at that thing. Sorry, that's his left eye. Thing's drooping like a motherfucker. Day one? No, day two, dude.
Fucking Eugene Levy again, dude. He's about to catch pie fucker.
Dude, he kind of looks like that. This is that dude that's like super like anti-gun. That's just constantly getting owned by different like pro-gun people on Twitter. It's awesome. I hope they talk about gun control. He got a smattering of applause. Oh shit! You just got owned, Joe. It sounds like she's saying ISIS when she says ISIS.
Yeah.
What is ISIS's definition? What? Dude, look how many. There's 9.4k thumbs up and 12k thumbs down on this video. That's fucking awesome. Dude, Ryan has a question. Would Bernie pay for helicopter pilot school?
Whose question's that?
Ryan.
Ryan who?
I don't want to call him. Should I call him out?
Yeah, call out his name.
Ryan Walter.
Ryan Walter. Okay. Hey, Ryan.
Do you know him?
Yeah, dude. Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's a friend of yours?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah? Did you meet on Grindr?
Ha ha ha. Jared, that's where you meet people, dude.
Wow, good comeback, dude.
No, but I mean, that's where, like, you always, like, I just said that earlier.
What? Okay, Ethan Montgomery is watching.
Oh, Big E's watching.
Big Eth.
But he's too busy to be here, but he's watching from home, 5 minutes away.
Wow, dude. Shit's lame. Shit's weak. This guy looks like he's about to swallow his own mouth. Look at his mouth, dude. It's like slowly disappearing off the screen. Matt, stop sharpening your knife and participate. It's just me and you, bro.
Yeah.
He looks like what it looks like when they used to put like fake mouth, like superimpose someone's mouth on something on like the Conan O'Brien show. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yang Gang.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Oh, what? Agree. We'll agree about tariffs. Could call Yang. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. Yang Gang. Get that bag.
Get that sack.
Get that sack.
The Yang sack.
Wait, is there no audio, Ethan? Oh shit, there's no audio.
Okay, so there's no audio, and nobody could tell us before now.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Until Ethan came.
Thanks, fuckers.
So there's our audio, right? But there's not audio from the video.
Ooh, interesting. That's weird.
So, Jared, did you watch last night at all?
Say that again. Hold on.
Did you watch last night's debate at all?
You know what? I did not.
Yeah.
Well,
so
I did catch the little bit about hold on, let me mute this motherfucker. I did catch a bit about what's her name?
Tulsi Gabbard.
Tulsi Gabbard, yeah.
Yeah, she was only asked like 3 questions. And, I've seen like a bunch of shit today on social media.
Mm-hmm.
Like apparently she's like the most searched person on Google, right?
Really?
After the debate. So, and then I believe she also got #1 on Drudge Report as, favorite from the debate. Okay. So it looks like she was doing pretty good. But then today, I'm seeing a lot of stuff where it's kind of like just like a repeat of the Ron Paul phenomenon, where they're saying Russian hackers are making Tulsi Gabbard look good.
Oh my God! Yeah, I saw that shit.
Exactly,
yeah.
And they're saying like internet trolls. So you know what I mean? They're saying
Right.
It's just crazy, dude.
Yeah.
So apparently, I know myself. I think I posted like twice about Tulsi last night. But I didn't vote in any poll.
You didn't vote in any poll?
No, I didn't feel the need to. I mean, I thought she was doing. She was the smartest kid with Down syndrome, essentially. No, but I mean, she's just worlds better than any president that we've had in many years, as far as being anti-war. I mean, at least that's the way that she's speaking. And, she's still like, very stupid on money issues and very dangerous on socialism, of course,
Yeah.
But, she does seem to be pretty viciously anti-war or anti-unjust war.
Mm-hmm. Hold on, I may have figured this out.
Oh, sweet, bro.
Yeah. Sorry, folks. But thank you to the person that finally fucking told us. You're the real...
What, wasn't that Ethan?
Yeah. Thanks, Big Eth.
Ethan, you're 5 minutes away, dude. You should just like come over now, dude.
Wait, I think I might have found it. Can you guys hear us now? Can you hear the TV now?
I think there's like a 5 second delay.
There's a 5 second delay. Just let us know, though. Speak up, motherfuckers. I'm surprised this many people were watching without sound. I mean, they could hear us talking, but they couldn't.
can just hear us.
I guess you guys just love hearing our voices. That's cool.
I guess so, but I mean, really, hearing like the Democrats, like who wants to hear that anyway?
Well, yeah, he's that's a good point. Dang, son. Oh, that's right, I muted it. I forgot. Sorry, I forgot I muted the computer. I muted the video. But now it should be pulling video from the monitor that I got up here. Oh yeah, we got it now. Oh yeah, we got it.
Presidential debate from the Arts Center in Miami.
As we continue the questioning, we want to bring in more members of our team.
So let's turn it over to Chuck Todd and Rachel Madden. Well, Rachel, I had a dream that we've done this before.
No. This is
didn't
definitely
happen.
the first time.
Definitely first time. Thank you, Lester, Savannah, and Jose.
Oh, fuck.
Let's quickly recap the rules one more time. 20 candidates qualified for this first debate. We've heard
How did
from
these
10
dudes
of them
get this
from last
gig?
night. We're hearing from 10 more tonight. Breakdown for each night was selected at random.
Which
Candidates
dudes?
will have
Rachel
60
Maddow?
seconds
Yeah.
to answer correct questions, 30 seconds for follow-ups if necessary.
Because of this large field of candidates, not every person will be able to comment on everything, but the less audience reaction there is, the more time they will all get.
Do you think? Do you suppose Rachel Maddow is gender fluid?
From all of these candidates, but we are going to begin this hour
Possibly.
with Mayor Buttigieg.
You think she's like a Zer or something like
I
that?
don't know. I mean, it would be cool to find out. Does it say that on like Twitter or something?
And the criminal justice system. Your community of South
What's
Bend,
that?
Indiana,
I
has
mean,
recently
like,
been in uproar
how do you find out
over
like
an
somebody's like official
officer-involved
gender?
shooting. The police force in South Bend is now 6% black.
I don't know. I think there's like a quiz you take online.
Black.
You know, like one of those
Why
little
has that not
Quizlets.
improved over your 2 terms
That's
as
how you
mayor?
find out.
Because I couldn't get it done. My community is in anguish right now because of an officer-involved shooting. A black man, Eric Logan, killed by a white officer. And I'm not allowed to take sides until the investigation comes back. The officer said he was attacked with a knife, but he didn't have his body camera on.
Dude,
It's a
Buttigieg
mess.
is probably like a
We're
hero
hurting.
to all
And I
POCs
can
right
walk
now,
you
right?
through all of the things that we have done as a
Buttigieg,
community.
he's like
all
a,
of the
is that
steps
how
that
you
we
say his
took
name?
from bias training
Buttigieg?
to de-escalation, but
Buttigieg?
I think it's
it didn't
Buttigieg.
save
I
the
don't know
life
what it is.
of Eric Logan.
Butt gig.
And when I look into his mother's eyes, I have to face the fact
Whoa.
that nothing that I say will bring him back. This is an issue that is facing our community and so many communities around
What
the
you
country.
mean, our community?
And until we move policing out from the shadow of systemic racism, whatever this particular incident teaches us, we will be left with the bigger problem of the fact that there's a wall of mistrust put up one racist act at a time, not just from what's happened in the past, but from what's happening around the country in the present. It threatens the well-being of every community. And I am determined to bring about a day when a white person driving a vehicle.
How about
or a
this?
black
Is this
person
more
driving a
balanced for you folks?
when they see a police officer approaching, feels the exact same thing. A feeling not of fear, but of safety. I am determined to bring that day about.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
If I could ask one question, just because I think
Governor, I'll give you 30 seconds.
I think
Oh, shit, Schlegel's
the
watching,
question
bro.
they're asking in South Bend, I think in cities across the country.
Oh, it's
is
Alexis.
Why has it taken so long?
Alexis.
We had a shooting when I first became mayor, 10 years before Ferguson, and the community came together and we created an Office of the Independent Monitor, a Civilian Oversight Commission. We diversified the police force in 2 years. We actually did de-escalation training. I think the real question that
It would be
America should be
like
asking
hilarious.
is why,
Like, what if
5
Alec
years
Baldwin
after
ran?
Ferguson, every city doesn't have this level of police accountability.
Governor Hickenlooper, thank you.
I got to respond to that. Look, we've taken so many steps toward police accountability that the FOP just denounced me for too much accountability. We're
Yeah,
obviously
Alec
not there
Baldwin,
yet.
Matt
But I
Damon.
accept responsibility.
Who
for
else
what
was in
goes
like
on.
Team America?
Fire the chief.
So under Indiana law, this will be investigated, and there will be accountability for the officer involved.
But you're the mayor. You should fire the chief if that's the policy and someone died.
All of these issues are extremely important, but there are specifics, there are symptoms, and the underlying cause has to do with deep, deep, deep realms of racial injustice.
She wants to go
both in our
balls
criminal
deep,
justice system
balls
and
deep.
in our economic system.
Deep in
and
the docks.
Democratic Party should be on the side of reparations for slavery for this very reason.
What about
I do not
reparations?
I do not believe that the average American is a racist, but the average American is woefully undereducated about the history of race in the United States.
Ms. Williamson, thank you very much.
Vice President Biden, we're going to get to you. Hang on, we're going to get
On stage, I would like to speak
I-
on the issue of race.
Oh shit! Wow.
Oh shit!
And what I will say is
If
that
I
I
could preface this, we will give you 30 seconds.
She needs
so
to
we're going to come back
smoke some
to
weed
on this
now,
again
you
in just
know?
a moment. Go for 30 seconds.
Okay.
That would be like, what if
So,
Kamala Harris
on
just
the
lit
issue
up a
of
joint
race,
on the stage,
I
dude?
couldn't
That would
agree
be
more
so baller, dude.
That this is an issue that is still not being talked about truthfully.
I feel like
and
she's probably
honestly.
never smoked a joint in her life.
There is not a black man I know.
No,
be
she
he a
smoked
relative,
weed
a
listening to
friend, or a
Snoop Dogg in
coworker who has not been
college.
subject to
I don't
some
remember
form
the
of
smoking
in
weed.
1987.
Was that
Yeah.
on Charlemagne?
No, no. She apparently smoked weed listening to Snoop Dogg in college in 1987.
And I will say also that in this campaign, we've also heard, and I'm going to now direct this at Vice President Biden. I do not believe you are a racist, and I agree with you.
Wow.
When you
Wow.
commit yourself to the importance of finding common ground. But I also believe,
he did have
and
a
it's
black
personal,
money
and I
man.
was actually it was hurtful to hear you talk about.
Well,
the
I've got my Jew card,
reputation
so
of two
I mean, he kind of had his
United
like
States
black
senators
card,
who
right?
built their
With Obama, right?
reputations
kinda, yeah.
and
I mean,
career
but
on
Obama was only like
segregation
half black, right?
of race
So he's
in
only
this
got like
country.
half a
And
card.
it was
Half a
not
card.
only
He's got
that,
like a
but
He's
like
got a half.
tennis.
He's got a half-ass card.
them to
Yeah.
oppose busing. there was a little girl in California who was part of the second class to integrate her public schools. And she was bused to school every day. And that little girl was me. So I will tell you that on this subject, it cannot be an intellectual debate among Democrats. We have to take it seriously. We have to act swiftly. As Attorney General of California, I was very proud to put in place a requirement that all my special agents would wear body cameras and keep those cameras on.
Senator Harris, thank you. Vice President Biden, you have been invoked. We are going to give you a chance to respond. Vice President Biden.
Let Biden talk.
This characterization my position across the board. I did not praise racist. That is not true. Number one. Number two, if we want to have this campaign litigated on who supports civil rights and whether I did or not, I'm happy to do that. I was a public defender. I didn't become a prosecutor. I came out and I left a good law firm to become a public defender when in fact my city was in flames because of the assassination of Dr. King. Number one. Number two, as the Vice President of the United States, I work with a man who, in fact, we worked very hard to see to it we dealt with these issues in a major, major way. The fact is that in terms of busing, the busing, you would have been able to go to school the same exact way because it was a local decision made by your city council. That's fine. That's one of the things I argued for, that we should be breaking down these lines. But so the bottom line here is, look, everything I've done in my career, I ran because of civil rights. I continue to think we have to make fundamental changes in civil rights. And those civil rights, by the way, include not just only African Americans, but the LGBT community.
But Vice President Biden, do you agree today that you were
Jared,
wrong
I'm already
to
done my
oppose
40.
busing
Wow,
in
dude.
America?
Why'd you drink it so fast?
Do you agree?
I did not
Because I'm not a
oppose
bitch.
busing in America.
Wow.
What I opposed
Just trying to
is
pace
busing
myself, dude.
ordered
We got a
by
lot
the
of
Department
Democratic debate
Education.
here.
All right,
That's
I'm going to
what
go
I
grab
oppose.
some sparkling
I did
water.
not oppose.
Failure of states to integrate.
All right, I guess I'll just hold the
schools
fort down in
America.
your
I
absence.
was part of the second class to integrate Berkeley, California public schools almost 2 decades after Brown v. Board of Education.
Because your city council made that decision. It was a
So
local
that's where the
decision.
federal government must step
The
in. That's why
federal
we have the
government
Voting
must
Rights Act and the Civil
Oh,
Rights
shit.
Act. That's why we need to pass the Equality Act. That's why we need to pass the ERA, because there
What
are
is the
moments
ERA?
in history
The earned run
where
average?
states fail to preserve the civil rights of all
I have
people.
supported the ERA from the very beginning when I ran for the
Biden, 30 seconds.
Yeah, I support a low ERA.
supported the ERA from the very beginning.
It's good for
I'm
my
the guy
fantasy
that
team.
extended the Voting Rights Act for
What about the
25
NRA, though?
years. We got to the place where we got
Matt, how do you feel about the
98
NRA?
of the
Oh, wait,
98
you're
votes in the
gone.
United States
Getting
Senate
fucking
doing
sparkling
it.
water.
I've also argued very
Like a
strongly
bitch.
that we, in fact, deal with the notion of denying people access to the ballot box. I agree that everybody, once they, in fact, they should. Anyway, my time's up. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Vice President.
All of these
Wow.
things have
Senator
Humble
Sanders,
guy.
Senator Sanders, I'm going to go to you on this.
Yielding
You
the
said
floor.
that the day you launched your
Biden is
campaign,
yielding the floor.
That voters should focus on what people stand for, not a candidate's race
Bernie.
or age.
Bernie
or
is having a
sexual
stroke on
orientation.
stage. Look at his eye,
Many
dude.
Democrats are very excited by the diversity of this
Dude,
field
what if he
on the
was,
stage
man?
and on
You would
last
look
night's
so
stage.
mean.
And the perspective
Dude,
that
wouldn't that
diversity
save our
brings to
country,
this
probably?
contest, to these issues. Are you telling Democratic voters that diversity shouldn't matter when they make this decision?
No, absolutely
Whoa.
not. Unlike the Republican Party, we encourage diversity. We believe in
Nope.
diversity. That's
Dog's
what
fucking shit
America
up.
is about. But in addition to diversity, in terms of having more women, more people from the LGBT community, we also have to do something else. And that is we have to ask ourselves a simple question. And that how come today the worker in the middle of our economy is making no more money than he or she made 45 years ago, and that in the last 30 years, the top 1% has seen a $21 trillion increase in their wealth. We
Because
need
that
a
same
party
person
that is
isn't working that
diverse,
job.
but we need a party that has the guts to stand up.
There's
to the
upward
powerful
mobility in this
special
country.
interests who have so much
It's not the
power
same guy
over
working
the
this same job for
economic and
45 years. If he
political
is, he's
country.
doing something
Senator
fucking
Gillibrand, I
wrong.
want to give you 30 seconds on this.
Well, first of all, where Bernie left off, we've heard a lot of good ideas on this stage tonight and a lot of plans, but the truth is, until you go to the root of the corruption, the money in politics, the fact that Washington is run by the special interests, you are never going to solve any of these problems. I have the most comprehensive approach that experts agree is the most transformative plan to actually take on political corruption, to get money out of politics through publicly funded elections, to have clean elections. If we do that and get money out of politics,
there's no such thing as a clean election.
Healthcare is a right, not a privilege. We can deal with institutional racism. We can take on income inequality, and we can take on the corporate corruption that runs Washington.
It's like dry water, dude.
To do that was introduced by me when I was
You feeling all right over there, dude? That
No,
40 hitting you, dude?
No, it's more the weed, honestly, bro. But I was just thinking, like, that lady's going from, like, talking to the manager to trying to be the manager.
Dude, that's a good point, man.
You know?
There's a meme in there somewhere.
Right.
That if he is elected,
You just got to bring that meme to reality, dude.
will want to work together.
Bring it to life.
Should voters believe that somehow if there's a Democratic president in 2021, that gridlock is going to magically disappear?
Gridlock will not magically disappear as long as Mitch McConnell is there first. Second, that's why it is so important for us to win not just the presidency, to have somebody that can run in all 50 states, but to win the Senate as well. And that's why we have to propose policies that can be supported, like Medicare Act, so that we can build a broad coalition of Americans to overcome broken Washington, D.C. I agree with what Senator Gillibrand was saying. I share a lot of her views. We need to end gerrymandering in Washington. We need to end political gerrymandering in Washington. The court today said they couldn't do anything about it. We need to overturn Citizens United.
I sound more coherent than he does, and I'm 75% of the way through a 40.
Voting rights in Shelby versus Holder is something we need to deal with. All of those things has happened since Vice President Biden was in the Senate. And
we should have came up with a drinking game.
Structural problems that we have to overcome with a broad coalition. It's the only way we can do it. We need to root out the corruption in Washington.
All right, how about from now on, we drink every time Bernie says the 1%.
I haven't finished my 40, dude.
Oh, you fuck. Well, drink your fucking seltzer, dude.
My fucking seltzer.
You haven't seen what's been happening in the United States Senate over the last 12 years. It didn't happen.
The government from shutting down and going bankrupt. I got Mitch McConnell to raise taxes $600 billion by raising the top rate. And as recently as after President got elected, I was able to put together a coalition of the Cures Act that billions of dollars go into cancer research. Bipartisan, but sometimes you can't do that. Sometimes
can we find normal-looking politicians, or are they all just like lizard people?
Candidates, and guess what? We beat
like, dude,
normal.
I mean, like Tulsi Gabbard's hot, right? At least we can get somebody that's like attractive in office.
Well, yeah, we probably
and anti-war.
We probably shouldn't be looking for like looking politicians, you know.
What's that?
Shouldn't we judge more like the content of their speech?
I mean, yeah, of course.
We don't want Jabba the Hutt up there, but you know, at the same time.
But look, I mean, Tulsi Gabbard. Obviously, she sucks on everything else, but like anti-war, and she's hot.
I mean,
that's a pretty good combo, huh?
And then compared to all the Democrats, I don't think she does like suck as bad as some of them. You know?
I mean, like she's good on drugs.
Yeah,
she's
but I mean,
good.
yeah, she's great on drugs. She's great on the wars.
She's bad on like guns. She's bad on welfareism.
Well, that's the thing. I want to research her more because I want to find out like how bad is she on guns.
Here's the thing: she doesn't really talk about it that much.
Yeah, there's like,
which is why I'm not like overly concerned. Like, I don't know that she would be
because
spearheading this agenda of like banning guns. Because I don't think I think she's more of one of those like common sense gun control type liberals. You know, she's not like this
common sense.
I mean, I do that with quotation marks.
Right.
I was doing air quotes.
Okay.
Common sense and air quotes. But
what communist sense?
Yeah, I'm not like worried about her like coming after my guns if she gets elected. What's the matter, dude? Oh, dude, you should fucking die, bro.
Nothing else is possible, whether it's education or healthcare or ending.
She supports the assault weapons ban.
I'd like to put a different question to you. Roe versus Wade has been
not good.
the law of the land since 1973. Now that there is a conservative
but
majority
it's not
on
the worst
Court,
that these candidates have said.
States have passed laws to severely restrict or even ban abortion. One of those laws could very well make it to the
Big E
Supreme
thinks
Court
that Trump is going to
during your
mop the floor with
presidency
any
if
of
you're
these
elected
candidates,
president.
even
What is your
Tulsi.
plan was struck down in the court while you're president.
What is your response to that? Do you have a response?
I mean, could he?
I don't know if he's gonna mop the floor.
Well, I mean, it
he might win.
It seems like he's probably gonna win 2020.
Should not infringe on that right. We will do everything we can.
I'm not sure if it's a probable.
Second of all, let me make a promise here. Yes,
Okay, so what are you saying?
My litmus test is I will never appoint.
I mean, I think it's likely. Like, if I had to put it over 50%, I would put it over 50%. So it's more likely than not, but I wouldn't say it's like probably.
I would.
Yeah. Hold on, let's hear what Bernie has to say.
I do believe that constitutionally we have the power to rotate judges to other courts. And that brings in new blood into the Supreme Court, and a majority,
That's what he just wants new blood, dude. He wants that fresh young blood. Keep him alive.
Bernie's a vampire.
I'm going to give you 10 additional seconds, because the question is, what if the court has already overturned Roe, and Roe is gone? All of the things you just described would be to try to preserve Roe. If Roe is gone, what could you do as president?
What? They're not going to overturn Roe v. Wade, dude.
Didn't come up here, but let's face this.
This dude needs to calm down.
Medicare for all guarantees every woman in this country the right to have an abortion if she wants it.
Thank you, Senator.
And can I just address this for a second? And I want to talk directly
Wish
to
someone
America's
aborted
women
you, Bernie.
and to the men who love them. Women's reproductive rights are under assault by President Trump and the Republican Party. 30 states are trying to overturn Roe v. Wade right now. And it is mind-boggling to me that we are debating this on this stage in 2019 among Democrats, whether women should have access to reproductive rights. I think we have to stop playing defense and start playing offense. But let me tell you one thing about politics, because it goes to the corruption and the deal-making. When the door is closed and the negotiations are made, there are conversations about women's rights, and compromises have been made on our backs. That's how we got to Hyde. That's how the Hyde Amendment was created, a compromise by leaders of both parties. Then we have the ACA. During the ACA negotiation, I had to fight like heck with other women to make sure that contraception wasn't sold down the river or abortion services. And so what we need to know is, imagine this one question.
Karen's up
When
again.
we beat President Trump,
Karen.
and Mitch McConnell walks into the Oval Office, God forbid, to do negotiations, who do you
like her
want
hair's getting
when
shorter
that door
and shorter.
closes to be sitting behind that desk to fight for women's rights? I have been the fiercest advocate for women's reproductive freedom for over a decade. And I promise you, as president, when
She's
that
been the
door
fiercest.
closes, I will guarantee women's reproductive freedom no matter what.
Thank you.
Yeah, Kyle. We're sorry you couldn't participate tonight, too.
I'm addressing you first on this. You live in a state that has been hit by drought, wildfires.
Matt was crying earlier in the corner.
I was, Kyle.
He was upset. He was masturbating with his tears.
I miss you dearly, dude. I was using tears for lube, Jared.
Yes, dude. What happens?
Well, first of all, I don't even call it climate change. It's a climate crisis. It represents an existential
Oh,
threat
wow.
to us as a species. And the
Gotta
fact
keep
that
upping
we
the
have
rhetoric.
the President of the United States was embraced
Went
science.
from
crisis.
global warming to climate change to climate crisis.
Shit, dude.
It's like, kind of reminds me of back like during the Bush years when they had the chart where it was like code green, code yellow, code orange, code red. And it was like always like code orange. At least.
Dude, the Bush years?
Yeah.
That could also be like 70s pussy.
Well, it could be, but I'm talking about George W. Bush years. Remember the fucking alert system? Like the country's on orange alert because like fucking Osama bin Laden farted or somewhere.
Issues seriously, and frankly, we have a president of the United States. We talked about, you asked before, what is the greatest national security threat to the United States? It's Donald Trump. And I'm going to tell you why. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I agree, climate change represents an existential threat. He denies the science. You want to talk about North Korea? Real threat in terms of nuclear arsenal, but what does he do? He embraces Kim Jong-un, a dictator for the sake of a photo op.
Oh, you mean he wants peace? He wants to resolve the conflict, potentially?
Yeah, it's just not the best example.
To a threat to our democracy and our election.
Thank you, Senator Harris.
These are the issues that are before us, Chuck.
I hear you. Thank you, Senator Harris. Mayor Buttigieg. your climate
Buttigieg. How do you say his fucking name?
if you're elected president in your first term, how is this going to help farmers impacted by climate change in the Midwest?
Well,
He's like,
reality
which
is we
climate?
need to
Where
begin
is it?
adapting right away, but we also can't skip
The,
the beat on
climate over here?
preventing climate change from getting even worse. It's why we need aggressive and ambitious measures. It's why we need
It's
to do
not a climate crisis for Buttigieg,
I would
right?
propose we do it in a way
Buttigieg.
that is
What is
rebated
that?
out.
Dude, this
to
guy's
the
got a
American
climate
people
going on his
in a progressive
forehead, man.
fashion,
He's
so that
looking
most
all oily.
Americans are made more than whole. This isn't theoretical for us in South Bend either. Parts of
Grab
California
that-
on
grab that
fire
towel,
right here in
man.
Florida, they're
Towel
talking
off
about
a little
sea level
bit.
rise. Well, in Indiana, I had to activate the emergency operations center of our city twice in less than 2 years. The first time was a 1,000-year flood, and the next time was a 500-year flood. This is not
Is that like
just
Noah's
happening
flood?
on the Arctic ice caps. This is happening in the middle of the country, and we've got to be dramatically more aggressive moving forward.
Who do you
Now,
think
here's
is like
what
most
very few
likely to
people
have a
talk about.
boner right
First of
now?
all, rural
Biden or
America can be
Buttigieg?
part of the solution
I
instead
don't know,
of being
can
part
Biden
of
still
the
get
problem.
boners?
With the right kind of soil management and other kind of investment, rural America could be a huge part of
Probably
helping this
Buttigieg,
stuff.
dude.
And secondly, we got to look to the leadership of
There's a
local
lot of other
communities.
dudes on what?
Those networks
Okay,
of
that's
mayors and
homophobic.
cities from around the world to come together.
All right.
Not even waiting for our national governments to catch up. We should have a Pittsburgh summit where we bring them together as
Maybe
well
Yang,
as rejoining
dude.
the Paris
Maybe Yang slanging that wang.
Oil and gas companies should be a part of the solution on climate change. Lots of your colleagues on stage tonight have talked about moving away from fossil
Rachel
fuels
Maddow.
entirely.
Dude, this guy looks like George Burns. Like, who is this guy? He's like a mixture between like George Burns and somebody said earlier, Mr. Rogers.
I recognize that we're within 10 or 12 years
Oh my God, dude.
of actually, suffering irreversible damage. But, guaranteeing everybody a government job is
Irreversible.
not going to get us there. So socialism, and in that sense, is not the
Good call,
solution.
Heath.
We have to look at
He says Rachel Maddow probably has the biggest boner.
Dude, I already said that like 3 minutes ago, dude.
Wait, I didn't hear you say that.
I did. I said Rachel Maddow. I said
Oh,
it.
dude,
yeah.
sorry. I was laughing at my own joke probably at the time.
working with the oil and gas industry, and we created the first methane regulations in the country. Methane is 25 times worse than CO2.
Methane, that's what the cow farts, remember?
Industry, we haven't seen the plans yet. If we
AOC's
look
cow farts.
At the real problem, CO2, the worst polluters in CO2 is China,
Hickenlooper
it's the United
2020.
States, and then it's
Says
concrete
Kyle.
and its exhalation. And beyond that, I think we've got to recognize that only by bringing people together, businesses, nonprofits, and we can't demonize every business. We've got to bring them together to be part of this thing, because ultimately, if we're not able to do that, we will be doomed to failure. We have no way of doing this without bringing everyone together.
Thank you. Vice President Biden, on the issue of how you do this, Democrats are
How you
arguing
do
robustly
this.
among themselves about what's the best way to tackle climate change. But if we're honest, many Republicans, including the president, are still not sure if they believe it is even a serious problem. So, are there significant ways you can cut carbon emissions if you have to do it with no support from Congress?
The answer is yes. Number one, in our administration, we built the largest wind farm in the world, the largest solar energy facility in the world. We drove down the competitive price of both
Well,
of those.
you and Barack are out there with your
renewable
bare hands,
sources.
just
I would immediately
putting up
insist
fucking
that we, in fact, built
windmills and shit.
500,000 recharging stations throughout the
Wow,
United
dude.
States of America, working with
That's
governors,
impressive.
mayors, and others, so that we can go to a full electric vehicle future by the year 2020, or by the year 2030. I would make sure that
Oh, whoops.
Wow, dude.
$100 million
It's quick.
in new
He hasn't talked about
science
curing
and
cancer yet.
technology
Yeah.
to be the
Dude, I want them to ask him
not
about
only
that.
of
Do you think they
the
will?
green economy, but economy that can create
That would be my
jobs.
first.
Highly doubt it.
Dude, that would be
I
like my
immediately
first
join
or
the
second
Paris,
question. Be
climate accord.
so how the
I
fuck
would
are you
hope
gonna
the
cure cancer?
Anti-Acid Accord, which it calls for,
Probably
Are you a
first
fucking
question.
scientist?
15% of the problem. 85% of the world makes up the rest. And so we have to have someone who knows how to corral the rest of the world, bring them together, and get something done like we did in our administration.
Senator Sanders, I want to give you 30 seconds to follow up, and I'm going to hold you to 30.
Look, the old ways
Are you though?
are no longer relevant. The scientists tell us we have 12 years before there is irreparable damage to this planet. This is a global
Bernie
issue.
looks like a
What
mad
the President
scientist.
of the United States should do is not deny the reality of climate change, but tell the rest of the world that instead of spending $1.5 trillion on weapons of destruction, let us get together for the common enemy. And that is to transform the world's energy system away from fossil fuel to energy efficiency and sustainable energy. The future of the planet rests on us doing that.
I mean, I'm all about not building nuclear weapons or whatever. That's cool, I guess.
Pass the torch. Pass the torch.
But
to
isn't
generations.
I've been reading recently nuclear energy is maybe the cleanest energy.
Oh no, I'm not against nuclear energy.
Yeah.
He's talking about like building weapons. I didn't mean to
Yeah,
say nuclear
I mean-
weapons. He was just talking about like take the money from the military-industrial complex.
Well,
and
it
build
kind
wind
of
farms.
seems like he's taking like one cash cow and he's trying to move it over to another.
Oh yeah,
But I mean, it's still a cash cow.
it's still a cash cow. It's a
It's a
less
cash
violent
cow.
cash cow.
Well, yeah, but it's still violent in that it requires a lot of taxation to
Yeah.
accomplish it.
Very
You know,
true, very true.
And then it's went from global warming because it was warming, and that's what then it went to climate change because I don't know, maybe it's cooling.
Yeah.
And now tonight we find out about climate crisis.
But yeah, nuclear power, man. I mean, despite what you see in that movie Chernobyl and Fukushima, there's actually less deaths, less health risks associated with people that work in the industry and just the industry in general and like the energy that it produces. I mean, way more people have died from coal.
I'm going to go down the line here, and I'm asking you,
black
please,
lung
for one
shit.
or two words only.
And like,
All right, please.
you need all that stuff to produce
President Obama in his first year
electrical,
wanted to address
like electric cars and shit. Like you still need,
and he could
but with
only
nuclear
get
power,
one
obviously you're not going to power a car off of nuclear power, but nuclear power is cleaner. The output is cleaner,
climate change.
and it's more efficient. But you don't hear them bringing that up.
Issue that you're going to push, you get
The
one
fuck is up with that,
shot
dude?
That it may be the only thing you get passed. What is that first issue for your presidency? Eric Swalwell, you're first.
For Parkland, for Orlando,
Oh,
for
yeah,
every
this
community
motherfucker.
affected by gun violence. Ending gun violence.
Senator Bennett.
You're gonna end gun violence.
Climate change and the lack of economic mobility Bernie talks about.
Senator Joe Biden.
Passing a
You just
family bill
referenced
of
Bernie.
rights that includes a national paid leave plan, universal pre-K, affordable daycare, and making sure that women and families can thrive in the workplace no matter who they are. Oh, I like
All right.
that. Okay,
All right, that's enough.
And so passing a middle class and working families tax cut,
That's one.
DACA, guns.
Oh, I'm giving you credit for the first thing you said, the tax cut. I got you. Senator Sanders, first thing.
The premise that there's only one or two issues out there. This
I'm not saying there
country
isn't one or
faces
two.
enormous crises.
Senator
We need
Sanders.
a political revolution. People have got to stand up and
Dude,
take
this
on
guy
the
is trying to
special
fucking
interests.
seize the
We
means
can
of production.
transform This country.
Fine. Vice President Biden, your
Jesus.
first issue, Mr. Vice President.
I think you're so underestimating what Barack Obama did. He's the first man to bring together the entire world, 196 nations.
Bernie just literally looks like an insane man up there, dude.
Hey,
There's no way that motherfucker's get the nomination.
hey, did you hear the rumor that if Biden gets a nomination, he'll get Barack Obama to be his vice president?
I don't think that's gonna happen.
It could possibly clinch him the White House, though.
But his first priority was defeat Donald Trump. Wow.
We gotta fix our
Orange man
democracy
bad.
before it's too
Yeah.
late. Get
I,
that right.
I really was hoping to hear that
Taxes
tonight.
and every other issue gets better.
What, Orange man bad?
Yeah, like on the debate. I thought that was so hilarious.
For every American adult starting at age 18, which would speed us up on climate change because if you get the boot off of people's throats, they'll focus on climate change much more clearly.
Governor Hickenlooper.
I would do
Wait, did he say? Shit, I missed that. Was he saying the bag? Get the bag.
Before the election to make sure we don't re-elect the worst president in American history.
And Ms. Williamson
My
with the
first
last
call
word.
is to Prime Minister of New Zealand, who said that her goal is to make New Zealand the place where it's the best place in the world for a child to grow up. And I will tell her girlfriend you are so on, because the United States of America is going to be the best place in the world for a child to grow up.
You know,
Girlfriend.
You guys
Girlfriend.
were close with the short. At least it was shorter.
No, they weren't.
Responses.
Not at all.
All right. C minus.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with these candidates right after this.
Kyle brings up a good point here. He says, I think Bernie is dangerous because he makes populist appeals for socialism. Even if he doesn't win, he's pushing those ideas out there. That's a good point, man.
Well, yeah, it's just like Ron Paul was the most dangerous.
Exactly. Exactly, yeah. I mean,
Fucking
It's hard to
coward.
tell, man, but it does seem like socialism is growing in popularity.
2016, that is President Donald Trump, an incumbent.
But really, I think it's just people
running for
want free
re-election.
shit.
In some
You
ways,
know,
a re-election campaign
people
for
want like
president,
their
of course,
debt.
becomes a referendum
Like a big
on
thing
how
now
they
is
feel the president did
having
during
their
his 4
debt
years in office. So what can we say
canceled.
about how
You know,
voters
student
have
debt
been reacting
canceled.
so
that
far
sort of
to the
thing.
Trump presidency?
People
What you
get
see
like,
here,
I'm turning this
this
shit
is
down
his
real quick.
average approval rating, meaning you've always got these different polls out there. One day NBC will have one,
But
CNN will have one. They're always coming in from all over the place. This trend line.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. You know, it's hard to tell if these people are like going home and like, oh, maybe I should start reading some Marx. You know, maybe I should need to read some Das Kapital.
Yeah, it is pretty promising, though, to know that out of all last night's candidates, Tulsi Gabbard was getting the most Google hits.
That was cool.
You know,
and like the only thing she really said on the whole debate, was the anti-war stuff.
Yeah, I believe at one point in time she was even asked a question that was like totally different, and she just steered it right to the anti-war stuff.
Really?
So yeah, that was pretty skillful.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, it's what allegedly got Barack Obama elected, right?
Well, I mean,
it sort of swayed a lot of people towards Trump. I think, you know, I think the average American is probably pretty anti-war. They might not, you know, they're not like anti-troop, they're not anti-military industrial complex per se, but they are just on a very pragmatic, basic level. They're like, yeah, I don't know why we're sending our boys over to die in other countries anymore. Like, I don't, like, why? Why are we doing that?
Right. Yeah.
You know, that's what they're, you know, that's probably what they're thinking. And so they see somebody that's like, yeah, you know, if we can fucking get rid of these wars, then maybe, like, we don't gotta tax you as much. Okay. Let's do that, Dan. Yeah, I don't know, man. But yeah, that's very promising. It is funny, though, how you saw, like, I think it was like that, there was a graphic from, like, that Google posted on Twitter, and it was like their Google trends, and it showed like she was the most Googled, right?
Yeah.
And then underneath that were like, you know, all the Twitter comments, and there were just so many people, like you said before, that were saying shit like, "Oh, it must be the Russian bots at it again." Like,
yeah, there's that, and
oh, she's Assad's like pal.
Yeah, and for the most part, like, you know, I shared a couple Tulsi posts on Facebook, and I believe I just got one comment where it's just like, oh, she believes in conversion therapy, and it's just like, no, she doesn't. You know, it's somehow she catches heat for shit that she thought when she was like, I think she was like 22 or 23 years old. You know, now she's like, I think like 38 or something. So this is like 15 years ago, you know, where she was, you know, pretty much a kid. She wasn't involved in politics yet, and you know, any vote that she's cast in politics, you know, is if anything pro LGBT.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, they're going after her on the LGBT thing because you know they really can't go after her too bad on the war thing. You know, because
when they do go after on the war thing, it's like, oh, you're cozying up to dictators. It's the same thing they're saying about Trump. Oh, you're just palling around with dictators. It's like.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I feel like they're just not able to get her really on the war thing because I mean, she's fucking great.
Yeah, no, I mean,
you know, so you know they go after some like stupid shit, you know, which isn't even relevant in 2019.
Right.
You have a unique position on gun reform. You're proposing that the government should buy back every assault weapon in America, and it should be mandatory. How do you envision that working, especially in states where gun rights are a strong flashpoint?
Keep your pistols, keep your rifles, keep your shotguns, but we can take the most dangerous weapons from the most dangerous people. We have the NRA on the ropes because of the moms, because of the Brady.
Wait, so anybody that owns an assault weapon is a dangerous person? Is that what he's saying now?
That's what it sounded like, dude.
I've seen the plans of the other candidates here. They would all leave 15 million assault weapons in our communities. They wouldn't do a single thing to save a single life in Parkland. I'll approach this issue as a prosecutor. I'll approach it as the only person on this stage who has voted and passed background checks, but also as a parent. of a generation who sends our children to school where we look at what they're wearing so we can remember it in case we have to identify them later.
What?
A generation who
Dude,
has
you're a
seen
fucking
thousands of black
fear-mongering
children
piece of
killed in our
shit.
streets, and a generation who goes to the theater and we actually look where the fire exits are. We don't have to live this way. We must be
You
a
should
country
probably look
who
anyways,
loves
you
our
fucking
children
idiot. They tell you
more
in
than
the
we love
little
ourselves.
teaser, like, if there's a fire, look for the exits, you dumb fuck. He's gonna be that idiot's like, I don't know, how do we get out of here?
2013, in which you said, quote, my own view on guns is everything being equal, states should make those decisions. Has your thinking changed since then? Do you now think there's a federal role to play?
That's a mischaracterization of my thinking.
It's a
Look,
quote of
we have a gun.
Oh shit!
Crisis right
Bernie
now,
just got
40,000
burned.
people a year are getting killed. In 1988, Rachel, when it wasn't popular, I ran on a platform of banning assault weapons, and in fact lost that race for Congress. I have a D- voting record from the NRA. And I believe that what we need is comprehensive gun legislation that, among other things, provides universal background. We end the gun show loophole. We end the straw man provision. And I believed in 1988, and
What's
I
the straw
believe
man
today.
provision?
Why would you leave
Oh, is that where you can, like, get someone else to buy the gun for you or something? like that?
You leave 15 million on the streets.
Ethan, what's the straw man provision? I know you would know.
You would leave. Your plan leaves them on the streets. You leave 15 million on the streets.
We banned the sale and distribution, and that's what I believe for many years.
Sorwell, are you just gonna fucking bring your fucking government guns around to snatch everyone's guns up? Is that your plan?
We're going to give you 30 seconds.
Thank you. I think your idea is a
fucking
great
piece
one,
of
Congressman
shit.
Swalwell, and I will say that there are a lot of great ideas. The problem is Congress has not had the courage to act, which is why when elected President of the United States, I will give the United States Congress 100 days to pull their act together, bring all these good ideas together, and put a bill on my desk for signature. And if they do not, I will take executive action, and I will put in
Oh
place
shit, definitely not her.
the most comprehensive background check policy we've had. I will require the ATF to take the licenses of gun
Shit's
dealers
about to
who
get real,
violate the
Jared.
law, and I will ban by executive order the importation of assault weapons. Because I'm going to tell you, as a prosecutor, I have seen more autopsy photographs than I care to tell you. I have hugged more mothers who are the mothers of homicide victims, and I have attended more police officer funerals. It is enough. It is enough. There have been plenty of good ideas from members of the United States Congress. There's been no action. As president, I will take action.
Mayor Buttigieg, I want to bring you in on this, sir.
Wow, all these people cheering for someone to just fucking violate the Constitution like that. God damn. God damn, dude. Just executive order over the Second Amendment.
Will military families, does that inform your thinking on this view? Do you believe that military families or America's veterans will, at large, have a different take on this than the other Americans who we've been talking about, who Congressman Swalwell is appealing to with his buyback program?
Yeah, of course, because we trained on some of these kinds of weapons. Look, every part of my life experience informs this. Being the mayor of a city where the worst part of the job is dealing with violence, we lose as many as were lost at Parkland every 2 or 3 years in my city alone. And this is tearing communities apart. If
Shit,
more
dude, that's
guns
like a
made
day in
us
Baltimore,
safer,
son.
we'd be the safest country on earth. It doesn't work that way. And common sense measures like universal background checks can't seem to get delivered by Washington, even when most Republicans, let alone most Americans, agree it's the right thing.
Where do
to
they
And as
not
someone
do
who
background
trained
checks?
on weapons of war, I can tell
I
you
don't know,
that there
dude.
are
I guess if you're buying a
weapons that have
shotgun.
absolutely
No, they
no
still do a
place
background
in
check.
American
Do they?
cities or neighborhoods
Yeah.
in peacetime, ever.
Vice President Biden, 30
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
They still do a background check. They don't do the waiting period, but they still do a background check.
Right.
I'm the guy that got the
Yeah, I don't
radio
know.
past the background checks. Number one. Number two, we increased that background check during the Obama-Biden administration.
How do you increase the background check?
Banned. And the number
They
of
check more
clips in a
shit?
gun, banned. And so, folks, look, and I would buy back those weapons. We already started talking about that. We tried to get it done. I think it can be done. and it should be demanded that we do it, and that's a good expenditure of money. And lastly, we should have smart guns. No gun should be able to be sold unless your biometric measure could pull that trigger. It's within our right to do that. We can do
What
that.
the fuck are you talking about, Joe?
Gun manufacturers, not the NRA. The gun manufacturer.
Vice President.
But the NRA is taking orders.
They want to put biometric.
What? Wait, what? Is this? Has anyone ever proposed this before?
I think in like science fiction movies.
Okay. What about all the guns that don't have that shit? And how much are guns gonna cost now? Like fucking $3,000?
Yeah, I mean, how much technology is going to go into that? You know?
That's fucking retarded, dude.
Apple's going to start making guns.
What do you see as important early steps in reversing the damage done? And we'll put this one to Senator Bennett.
Thank you very much.
Ethan points out that background checks are required for all transfers. There's no such thing as a gun show loophole. Yeah, I mean, I bought a gun at a gun show.
Where is Ethan? I thought he would be here by now.
Yeah, come on, you piece of shit. No. Just kidding, bud. No, I bought a gun at a gun show, and I had to wait like fucking 4 months to get that thing. And I had to do a background check.
Right. Which gun show did you go to?
It was the one at
Timonium.
Was it Timonium, or I think it might have been Frederick Fairground.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I bought a gun.
I bought a really cool knife there too. I need to bring that knife over someday.
I bought a few guns at gun shows, and then I had to wait a little bit. You know, as far as I know, I think they send your background check into like the fucking FBI and shit. You know.
Yeah, and like they had to like transfer it back to like the store. I don't know. It was like a whole thing. It took me literally like 4 months to get it.
Well, I think that's probably more for pistols. Like I was able to like, walk away with it that day, but I was able to. They were just able to check my shit. You know.
Yeah.
Another one of these down the line, and this is what this question is, which is, you're likely gonna have to reset a relationship between America.
Yeah.
And
Also,
another
Roger points out that smart guns at a point of failure that gun owners find unacceptable. You know, it's like, have you ever had, you know, these iPhones have like this facial recognition thing, right? But like, if it doesn't detect it, like your phone doesn't open. It's like, what happens if you go to like defend yourself, and like you've got a fucking thing, a paint splotch on your hand over your finger.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
like my sister-in-law's iPhone will open from my wife's face, and my daughter's face.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, and like I have fingerprint open on my phone, but sometimes it doesn't work. You know, how advanced are these biometric finger systems going to have to be like reliable? It's stupid. It's just pandering bullshit.
We have no idea which of our most important allies he will have pissed off worse between now and then. What we know is that our relationship with the entire world needs to change. And it starts by modeling American values at home.
Okay, Mr. Vice President, I'm trying to be quick.
We know NATO will fall apart if he's elected 4 more years as the single most
We can only hope.
alliance in the history of the United States.
Senator Sanders.
It's not one country. I think it is rebuilding trust in the United Nations and understand that we can solve conflicts without war, but with diplomacy.
Senator Harris.
All right.
All the members of the NATO alliance.
Senator Gillibrand.
President Trump is hell-bent on starting a war with Iran. My first act will be to engage Iran to stabilize the Middle East and make sure we do not start an unwanted...
He's hell-bent? Didn't he call off...
She said her first act would be to engage Iran to stabilize...
What does that mean?
Yeah,
engage Iran? With what?
And Congressman Swalwell.
Our first act in foreign policy, we're breaking up with Russia and making up with NATO.
Thank you all. Thank you all. We have one last question for Vice President Biden tonight. You have made your decades of experience in foreign policy a pillar of your campaign. But when the time came to say yes or no on one of the most consequential foreign policy decisions of the last century, you voted for the Iraq War. You have since said you regret that vote. But why should voters trust your judgment when it comes to making a decision about taking the country to war the next time?
Because once Bush abused that power, what happened was we got elected after that. I made sure the president turned to me and said, Joe, get our combat troops out of Iraq. I was responsible for getting 150,000 combat troops out of Iraq, and my son was one
but
of
you
them.
didn't get all of
I
them
also
out.
think we should not have combat troops in Afghanistan. It's long overdue. It should end. And thirdly, I believe that
What?
you're
You
not
kept
going to
them in
find
there, you
anybody
fucking
who
scumbag.
has pulled together more of alliances to deal with what is the real stateless threat out there. We cannot go it alone in
Stateless
terms
threat.
of dealing with terrorism. So I'd eliminate
Dude, where's the stateless threat? I want to move there.
that allowed us to go into war and not the AUMF, and make sure that it could only be used for what its intent was, and that is to go after terrorists, but never do it alone. That's why we have to repair our alliances. We put together 65 countries to make sure we dealt with ISIS in Iraq and other places. That's what I would do. That's what I have done, and I know how to do it.
Senator Sanders,
You don't know how to do shit. Except for touch little girls, man. Jesus.
Have in our record is Joe voted for that war. I helped lead the opposition to that war, which is a total disaster. Second of all, I helped lead the effort for the first time to utilize the War Powers Act to get the United States out of the Saudi-led intervention in Yemen, which is the most horrific humanitarian disaster on earth.
All right, Bernie.
Let me be very clear. I will do everything I can to prevent a war with Iran, which would be far worse than disastrous war with Iraq.
Okay, all right.
Good news is you get more time to talk, but I
Dig
have
it.
to sneak in one more break. We'll be right back with more debate.
Bernie's sounding a little anti-war. It's good. What do you think, man? You voting? You feeling the burn?
I don't know if I'm feeling the burn. I mean, I've actually been considering registering as Democrat to vote for Tulsi Gabbard in the Democratic primary.
Yeah.
But if she wins the primary, I'm not so sure that I could vote for her in the general election. I think she's a little too commie on, like, you know, a lot of things.
And the voting begins.
So why would you be voting for her?
Why don't we cut the volume off, dude?
Dude, why don't you shut the fuck up.
Okay. So, I'm sorry, what were we saying?
No, I'm just saying, so you would vote for her in the primary.
I'd vote for the Democratic primary.
Just in case. So just in case.
No, I mean really just to show support for the things that I like that she says, you know. And then, I mean, right now I'm still registered as a Republican because I registered as a Republican in like 2012 to vote for Ron Paul in the primary.
Yeah, I switched back to Libertarian. Because I kept getting like mailers from the GOP, and I was like, "Fuck this shit."
And you know, there's no Libertarian primary that you can vote in unless you travel to wherever it's held. And I guess you can go vote then. But right now you're not even recognized. The Libertarian Party is not even recognized in Maryland.
No, it's
so
not.
It's like, I've thought about registering as Democrat just to vote for Tulsi in the primary. But yeah, like I said, I don't think I could do it in the general election.
So you would prefer Trump to Tulsi, is what you're saying?
No, I wouldn't vote for Trump in the general election.
Okay, you just wouldn't vote for either.
Out of those two choices, I wouldn't vote at all, probably.
Yeah.
And then if there's a cool Libertarian candidate who I'm down with, I'd probably vote for them. I would think.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Cool, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. It's hard to tell. Like, she's not, according to the polls, she's not polling that well. Of course, I don't know if they take a new poll since last night.
Well, I mean, these are probably the same polls that said, like, Hillary was going to win by a landslide, too. I mean, you really can't trust any of these polls.
You can't. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, I feel like, if she's the most Googled person after last night, I mean, that says something.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully it's not just people that think she's hot.
No, it would be like if she was, like, searched on, like, Pornhub.
Yeah. Why would she be on Pornhub?
Well, I mean, every now and then. Well, I mean, it'll probably happen now. It'll probably happen now. If people think she's hot enough, somebody will find like a porno actress who looks, who has similar physical characteristics to Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah,
and then start putting her. Because I believe they found one for Sarah Palin.
Oh yeah, dude, Nailing Palin. Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, hopefully people were like, oh, I like what she's saying here. I like this anti-war shit. Let me see what she's all about.
We'll find out on next hamster, dude. Why is the volume not on?
Oh, I muted it so we could talk about shit.
This is the generation that will end climate chaos. This is the generation that will solve student loan debt. And this is the generation that will say enough is enough and end gun violence. This generation demands bold solutions. That's why I'm running for president.
Congressman, thank you.
Ms. Williams, 45 seconds for your closing.
I'm sorry we haven't talked more tonight about how we're going to beat Donald Trump. I have an idea about Donald Trump. Donald Trump is not going to be beaten just by insider politics talk.
She kind of reminds me of Lauren Bacall.
Who's that?
She was like an old actress, but I was a fan of Lauren Bacall. So.
This man has reached into the psyche of the American people, and he has harnessed fear for political purposes. So, Mr. President, if you're listening, I want you to hear me, please. You have harnessed fear for political purposes, and only love can cast that out. So sir, I have a feeling you know what you're doing. I'm going to harness love for political purposes. I will meet you on that field, and sir, love will win.
Thank you.
What the fuck?
Thank you. Thank you. My mom and her parents came to the United States to rebuild their shattered lives. In the only country that they could. 300 years before that, my parents' family came searching religious freedom here. The ability for one generation to do better than the next is now severely at risk in the United States, especially among children living in poverty like the ones I used to work for in the Denver public schools. That's why I'm running for president. I've had 2 tough races in Colorado by bringing people together, not by making empty promises. And I believe we need to build a broad coalition of Americans to beat Donald Trump, end the corruption in Washington, and build a new era of American democracy and American opportunity. This is going to be hard to do.
It was clever.
It
wasn't clever, but
it's what our kids
I think the
deserve.
reason she was like, I hope you're watching Donald Trump is so he'll like tweet about her tomorrow. Be like, oh, blah blah blah, and like talk some shit on her, and then she'll get like elevated a little bit. People will like hear about her. I don't think it's gonna work, but
yeah, I think Trump that down.
Abortion by 64%. We were the first state to
But who
legalize
knows?
marijuana, and we transformed our justice system in the process.
40 chess, bro.
We passed universal background checks in a purple state. We got to near universal health care coverage. We attacked climate change with the toughest methane regulations in the country, and for the last 3 years, we've been the #1 economy in America. You don't need big government to do big things. I know that because I'm the one person up here who's actually done the big progressive things everyone else is talking about. If we turn towards socialism, we run the risk of helping to re-elect the worst president in American history. Thank you, Governor.
yeah, fuck socialism though.
Women in America are on fire. We've marched, we've organized, we've run for office, and we've won. But our rights are under attack like never before by President Trump and the Republicans who want to repeal Roe v. Wade, which is why I went to the front lines in Georgia to fight for them. As president, I will take on the fights that no one else will. I stood up to the Pentagon and repealed Don't Ask,
I talked to the manager.
I've stood up to the banks and voted against the bailout twice. I've stood up to Trump more than any other senator in the U.S. Senate. And I have the most comprehensive approach for getting money out of politics with publicly funded elections to deal with political corruption. Now is not the time to play it safe. Now is not the time to be afraid of firsts. We need a president who will take on the big challenges, even if she stands alone. Join me in fighting for this.
Senator Gillibrand, thank you.
Join me in talking to the manager.
First, I want to thank everyone who put me on this stage tonight. I am proof that our democracy still works. Democrats and Americans around the country
He's gonna do a shout out to the Yang Gang.
Nominee, and that is who can beat Donald Trump in 2020. That is the right question. And the right candidate to beat Donald Trump will be solving the problems that got Donald Trump elected, and will have a vision of a trickle-up economy that is already drawing thousands of disaffected Trump voters, conservatives, independents, and libertarians, as well as Democrats and progressives. I am that candidate. I can build a much broader coalition to beat Donald Trump. It is not left. It is not right. It is forward. And that is where I'll take the country in 2020.
Mr. Yang, thank you.
Get that bag.
Senator Harris, the floor is yours.
Yang sack.
Thank you. Well, I just want to leave you with a couple of things. One,
we need a nominee who has the ability to prosecute the case against 4 more years of Donald Trump, and I will do that. Second, this election is about you. This is about your hopes and your dreams and your fears and what wakes you up. I promise you, I will be a president who leads with a sense of dignity, with honesty, speaking the truth, and giving the American
Isn't
family
honesty and
all
speaking
that
the
they
truth kind of
need
the
to
same
get through
thing?
the end of the month in a way that allows them to prosper. So I hope to earn your support. Please join us at KamalaHarris.org. Senator, thank you.
Wow. You have a website? That's cool.
www. I've had the experience of
AOL keyword Kamala Harris.
my family, putting it in an envelope marked just in case, and leaving it where they would know where to find it in case I didn't come back from Afghanistan. I have the experience of being in a marriage that exists by the grace of a single vote on the U.S. Supreme Court. I have the experience of guiding a community where the per capita income was below $20,000 when I took office into a brighter future. I'm running because the decisions we make in the next 3 or 4 years are going to decide how the next 30 or 40 go. And when I get to the current age of the current president in the year 2055, I want to be able to look back on these years and say my generation delivered climate solutions, racial equality, and an end to endless war. Help me deliver that new generation to Washington before it's too late.
Thank you. Senator Sanders, 25 seconds to close.
I suspect people all over the country who are watching this debate are saying, these are good people, they have great ideas. But how come nothing really changes? How come for the last 45 years wages have been stagnant for the middle class? How come we have the highest rate of childhood poverty? How come 45 million people still have student debt? How come 3 people own more wealth than the bottom half of America? And here is the answer. Nothing will change unless we have the guts to take on Wall Street, the insurance industry, the pharmaceutical industry, the military-industrial complex, and the fossil fuel industry. If we don't have the guts to take them on, we'll continue to have plans, we'll continue to have talk, and the rich will get richer, and everybody else will be struggling.
Thank you, Senator.
What about you, Bernie? Aren't you a millionaire?
Vice President Biden, sir, you have
Are you
45
struggling?
seconds.
Thank you very much. I'm running to lead this country because I think it's important we restore the soul of this nation. This president has ripped it out. It's the only president in our history who has equated racist and white supremacist with ordinary and decent people. He's the only president who has engaged and embraced dictators and thumbed their nose at our allies. I'm secondly running for president because I think we have to restore the backbone of America, the poor and hardworking middle-class people. You can't do that without replacing them with the dignity they once had. Lastly, we got to unite the United States of America as much as anybody says we can. If we do, there's not a single thing the American people can't do. This is the United States of America. We can do anything if we're together.
What about curing cancer, Joe?
All, may God protect our troops.
Can we do that together?
Range of issues, 20 candidates in all. We want to thank all of the candidates last night.
Seriously, it takes guts to run and stick your neck out like this to you guys and to the 10 last night.
I would also like to thank the audience for completely ignoring our suggestion not to react.
And of course, thank you to everyone at the Adrian R. Center for hosting us here and our terrific audiences. Chuck mentioned. For Savannah, Jose, Chuck, and Rachel, I'm Lester Holt. Good night, everyone, from Miami.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. This has been PRL covers the second Democratic debate of 2019. Peace out.
Live free
or die.